I just didn't really fancy going to uni. I was sick of being in the classroom and I just wanted to get stuck into work. And I absolutely love it. I much prefer going to work and just doing my job.
I'm Fraser. I'm a shore-serve heating engineer apprentice.
Hi, my name is Guy Robinson and I am an engineering technician apprentice for Through Half Trainers.
Hi, my name is Ellie and I'm a level 4 software apprentice, and we're here to talk about our experiences as apprentices. Why did you choose to be an apprentice?
I chose the apprenticeship route because I was fairly fed up of being in the classroom. I wanted to get hands-on learning, a very earn while you learn sort of mentality. I wanted to be able to do it for myself, and I was fed up of doing the theory side of it, but then I also get my own paycheck, so therefore I can sort of live for myself. I'm able to pay rent now and pay for my car. I paid for my tests and such what. So I can live a bit more for myself. I've got a bit more independence, but I also am still getting a qualification out of it.
I mean, for me, it's similar to you. I'm earning whilst I'm learning, and at the end goal is to get qualified to then go on to bigger things, which leads to me then doing things in my personal life that I want to do, putting a mortgage down the house, getting a nice car, all this. And I'm able to do that through an apprenticeship, and it's what I want to do at the end of the day. We're all here for one reason, and it's the money and the qualification, really. And at the end of the month, when you get that, it's the best feeling in the world. You've never had that much money in your life, and you know, you start to think about the future. It increases, and you really just want to like do well in this thing, so you can then get to that end stage of having that much money to do what you want with.
Well, I took my mum on holiday in the first couple months of my apprenticeship, because you have the annual leave, which people at uni don't. So when I was looking at, oh, I can take some time off, who can I go on holiday with, who can I spend my time with, all of my friends at uni were like, well, I've got lectures, I can't get the time off, or I don't have the money because I've got to pay for rent, or my course money is due, and I had no one to go with. So I was like, Mum, do you want to come on holiday with me? And I paid for her ticket, and it was such a nice, it felt quite like everything had come round, that she paid for holidays when I was little, and now that I'm earning, I can take her out and I can treat her. It felt really nice.
I felt that giving back myself was certainly, while she's not in the room, my mother is here with me today. I've just bought her a new laptop as a Christmas present that she's been bugging to get one, but she didn't have the time to go. But of course, I just went after work yesterday and picked one up after talking to her bloke, and it's now hidden on top of my wardrobe for the next month. But there's a really great feeling, and like you said, they've done it for all of our younger years before we could support ourselves, and now we're in a situation where we are getting our own money. We are able to give back. We are able to be part of the Christmas list, if you will, of who's giving presents, rather than just waiting to see what I get. I can see the other people's reaction. I've made it this far in life, and now I'm going to show you that I appreciate how you've let me get this far in life.
And there's no debt as well. I think something that I didn't want to do for uni was pay all of this money, sit in a classroom and just zone out. And it felt like it would have been for nothing. But I'm earning, I can get the same qualification, I can do the work, and there's no debt. All of my co-workers are really jealous because they've got all of these years of debt, and while they have a really cool qualification, they didn't start their careers until they were in their mid-20s, and I started as a teenager with no debt.
I mean, like you say, the big thing for me when I came out of school and I went to college, did a couple of years in college, it was good, but it wasn't as good as an apprenticeship. And what stopped me from going to uni at the end of the day was the debt that you put yourself in. And doing an apprenticeship is quite literally the polar opposite. And it sets you up so much better for life, I think. Obviously, if you want to be a doctor or something like that, go do it, you know what I mean? But
you can get apprenticeships as
yeah, you
the
can.
NHS.
And if this is the avenue I wanted to go down, uni wasn't the route, and uni was never my thing, really. But you know, it puts you in a better position for further on in life. So
I really want to get the message out there that apprenticeships aren't just for the trades. I know it's a bit different for you guys because you are the trades, but when I was in school, when I was in college, I was getting good grades. I was perceived as quite academic. I hated the studying. I hated it, but because of the grades, I was being pushed to go to uni and I just didn't want to, but I didn't know there was any other option. So to see how many apprenticeships there are in all of the different industries, you don't need to go to uni anymore. You can just get stuck in, and it's great.
I mean, the way I got this job is I wandered in one day and I gave my CV to this company, it's SureServe, and lo and behold, the person I gave it to was the person that was going to be interviewing me. But I didn't realise it yet, and you know, I'd like to see in the future apprenticeships become more of a prominent thing because they're really hard to find. I couldn't find one very easily, but I was very lucky. But I'd like to see it in the future that companies, you know, go out and advertise that they want apprentices because we are good. I like to think so anyway. We are helpful and we do just want to learn the trade, and there's a lot of shortages in plumbers and gas engineers. I don't know about your industry, but there's a lot of shortages on my end, and there's a lot of people that want to do it, but it's how to get into it that's the problem.
For me personally, my company moulded this role specifically for me because it suited exactly what they would want. They needed a process manager because it was leaving them dataless. So if somebody questioned it, it would take them time and leave them in not such a helpful spot. But now they've got someone to fill that role. So it's an even exchange. I get a pretty cool job, in my opinion. I'm earning while I'm learning as an apprentice. I'm learning all these different trades. I'm learning different tools and equipment, talking to these different people with so many years of experience. And they get someone to fill the role at the end of the day. So in terms of a business, everybody's happy there. But as an apprentices, I would also like to see more apprentices. And personally, I prefer them, if not would encourage them over a uni course. If you're in a place of good money, I understand that that's not such a hard hitting, but for your regular person, that's just an insane amount of money that you can't just pluck out of thin air. So, and the second of that is if you are paying yours off while at uni, probably means you've got a job, which probably means that you're spending less hours on the studying that you've just paid a stupid amount of money for.
But I do think people need to consider that apprenticeships aren't the easy way out. You still have to put in all the effort because you are doing your day job and then you're coming home and you're studying. I personally don't have a lot of studying to do because my apprenticeship is not assignment based. I have one big final assessment at the end of my apprenticeship, but there are still reports I need to write. I need like write up, stuff like that. But I would say the positive thing is I have more free time. I can get out of work. I can go to the cinema. I can go out with my friends. I have more time to do stuff compared to when I was in full-time education and it was assignment after assignment or studying for an exam. And there's less of the stress. You can just come home and just chill. And I really like that. That was something that I did not consider when getting an apprenticeship. And then I started my job and I came home and I was like, what do I do now? And it's just nothing.
I know on my apprenticeship, mine is assignment based, but at the same time, because obviously, yes, I have my job, so no, I'm not using this time to study all day and purely focus on that. And I feel like I've earned something and done something during the day through to my job, which, in my personal opinion, gives me a bit more morale to carry that on. Let's get a little bit more done, finish the night, call it quits, because nothing is waiting on me then. I'm not behind on nothing. So I feel like I'm in an apprenticeship, you're way more capable of keeping up with what's expected of you through your job and through your qualifications at college that you might have to do. It's less all in one go because they've got however long your apprenticeship is, they've got that long to assess you. They've got that long to test you on your abilities in terms of your college work. Last thing I'd say about apprentice, the thing that really drives it for me is I feel immediately rewarded, and I feel like I'm learning more immediately.
My word would be freedom. There's freedom in my job to explore different aspects of the job, different topics, but freedom outside of the job, I've got more time to do things. I have the money to go and do things, explore hobbies, things like that.
I think apprenticeships are definitely the way forward for education. You're earning whilst you're learning. I think that's the important one. And it allows so much for the future. It allows you to have a comfortable family life in the future. It sets you up for life, and I don't think anything else does that, really. And that's the big thing that people have to think about when they go into this kind of thing.